This is another one of the survivor guides, understanding that is you need to get out your head. Okay, that's what we call it. Get out your head. Okay, because the only way you're going to survive this twin flame journey is that. You hear me say that very often, quite often. So this is almost like survival guide / almost trigger warning for some of you all. And I've said this several times, that you can't get anywhere unless that heart is in that. Well, I had a deep conversation with my mom today, and we was talking about my dad and how he was, and being on the whole journey, and I'm trying to get her to really kind of get to the understanding that the reason why things had failed and not go successfully like she thought it would have been is because my dad forgot his heart. He checked it out. He did not trust his heart in doing the journey. A lot of times it told him to do it, and by the time when he did get it together and understand the heart is the way, not me listening to other people, not everything, it was towards the end of it, and so he kind of said, I got it. By that time the body's like, his mind wanted to keep at it, but his body was like, nah, I'm kind of tired, I'm ready to kind of go and be checked out, and for you to get a new body, new vehicle to drive around in. And so that's why I really say, in order for you to get and understand what's going on with your divine counterpart, you've got to remove the mind. I spoke it to, and I emailed of one of the subscribers. She emailed me some information, and she said, I see you talk about that quite often on your show, and I want to she said, I want to tell you how what you just had said, where she's at, here we go, has validity in it. So this is from well, I think it said, My Sweet Eyes. So and I'm going to read to you, and I'm going to tell you how she backs up and she fills in the blanks, or maybe also solidifies and confirms why using the heart to guide you on this journey is much better than using your mind. So she said, hello, Divine Sunshine. Your recent episode of Mind Played was fresh in my thoughts this morning as I began to read cards. Spirit led me to this beautiful discovery I would like to share with you. And I'm sharing with you, and I told you I was going to do it. She ain't responded back, but I'm going to do it because this is good stuff. So, in the Thoth Tarot deck, the Two of Swords card, or the Peace card, has much symbolic insight to what you shared with us in this particular episode. So go back to the episode I talk about, is your mind playing games with you? I want to say, well, your mind fucked, but then I was like, okay, in the spiritual thing, that might not go too well as a title, but that's the one you need to go back to. And she said, Two of Swords is peace, moon, in Libra balance. Chokma. The two swords piercing a rose or a lotus shows in the symbol the intellect strained by love. She said, please look up the symbol. I will, and I'll put it as maybe the cover for this one. So, the mind, which is intellect, which is strained by love. As I spoke so eloquently. She says, you spoke so eloquently. She talked about me. This card is a beautiful pictorial representation to your spoken word this morning. Balance, which brings peace on this journey, can be experienced as our heart chakra, love, restrain the swords, intellect, mind, or logic. A balanced mind is a clear mind, as we know clarity is power. We must be clear in order to come into union. Our hearts and minds must be balanced. This happens as our heart space, love, restrains our intellect into perfect harmony or balance. I hope this message finds you well. Okay. And she said, thank you for the message and for all you do. Namaste. And this again, she's saying again how, I love that thing where she says how the intellect restrains the love. Intellect restrained by love. So again, if you continue to look and see why your divine counterpart is acting the way they're acting, or you making decisions based upon that, it's going to mess things up. I talked to my mom, and I talked to her about my dad, and also how She was trying to understand why did he do things a certain way. And I said that you have to remember everything in some ways. And I disagree with Twin Flame All-Stars, which saying about forget is not about the childhood wounds. How are you going to be able to get into your soul? Is your soul okay? Which is where your heart resides. Your soul resides in your heart. How are you going to be able to become one and be all right with your soul if your heart is not together? Which is, again, with your childhood wounds, is also resides in your heart as well. How are you going to be able to do that? Because that's all part of that. Because how you learn to love, like I told my mom, stems back to your parents. And a lot of times, if your parents have not loved in the right way or they've experienced love in a healthy way, they have a tendency, like the Olympics, to pass that baton or that torch on to you. Okay? Just like they do in the opening ceremony. Everyone passes the torch to one and the other one passes the torch, and before you know it, everybody traveling and they go to that big torch at the end. And now you say, now the games can begin. You don't want to, and that be games will be love. You don't want to be able to pass that out. You've got to really look and reside and understand that when you're looking at your counterparts and why they're not acting the way that they're acting, you have to remember again, where did they learn love? Most of the time they tell you, if you're the mother or you're the son, your mother is your first love. If you're the daughter, your father is your first love. And if they're not loving you right as well, and you're learning that template of love from them. That's why they say first love even goes beyond that. That means you're the first person that they have taught you how to love. Now you're coming from that unhealthy space there of them passing the torch to you, and they looking at the torch and say, okay, I'm looking at it, I'm seeing some deflects and flaws in it, but they told me I'm supposed to take this torch and I'm supposed to go ahead and hold it high and go into the next, into my own relationship and use this torch as a light to be able to enlighten where I am, knowing that this torch is flawed. Now, some of us look at the torch and say, you know what, Ma, this ain't looking right. I think maybe we need to get another torch. And then they're like, let's throw that torch out and let's start all over again. Some of them don't. They don't notice the little tiny flaws in it, or they don't know any better. And they've never seen a better torch before or a better example of love. And they tear it on and say, oh, yeah, this is the role model of love right here in this torch, although it's flawed, whatever the parent has given to them. And try to rationalize that. Now here you get with this person. This person's already flawed. They basing it upon some things that their parent had given them this flawed torch for love. And then they also go out there in the world and it keeps on reflecting and making that flame of torch be much larger from the experiences that they had with other people, also with themselves, past relationships as well, and what they learn from society and the environment. This too causes for the torch to continuously burn and maybe even burn brighter, which makes say, oh, this is beautiful, not knowing that there's something wrong with that torch that they've gotten. Now, this is them thinking, they're looking at it, but instinctively they keep on saying, something within me, that's their heart, says something ain't right about this torch. But I keep on holding this torch, and I'm saying I'm doing this for the Jackson family, but something ain't right with this torch. But mine told me this is all right, this torch is fine, but I'm saying to myself, something in my soul and my heart don't feel right. That is where we are at, understanding that conflict with the mind and the heart. Something about this way to this person that we have found to be our divine counterpart. We're saying something about the way they showing love is not right, but something in my heart saying there's something, there's a connection there. So now it comes to the point, it's like, how do I override that? Who's the one that's right? Is my mind right? Is my heart right? I was watching the show Married, the new thing. My mom is into, she has me on it so I can be able to have conversations with my mom, but she's got this married at first sight thing, and it's a couple on there. I'll call him Player. If you watch him, I don't know his name yet. His name is Woody. I forgot what her name is. And he's Woody. And the young lady, you would never thought that, because he looked like he, you know, like I said, player from the Himalaya, dressed nice, you know. But he said he ready to settle down, and he's got a friend there that's principal, and I would have thought that he would be more likely the one that's ready to settle down. He's ready to settle down too. But they picked the partners for both of them that is interesting. I'm stick with Woody, because I already been told that it'd be interesting who's going to be the successful one out of the two best friends that they have on the show. So back to Woody. He got this other young lady. Now this young lady has experienced serial cheating. That means somebody has cheated on her, or serial infidelity. People that have men that have over and over again have cheated on her. Now they look like they're very good match for each other, but as I was watching, I could just jump into her brain and could hear the dialogue that was going into this. And he's really into her, because he's talking about, you know, you look nice, you beautiful. He's going on there, you know, in some ways, you know, she looking at him like, okay, you laying game on me. How long this gonna last? This is nice. Okay, and she told me out loud. She said, "Oh, you coming on kind of strong, ain't you?" He's like, "Well, you my wife, ain't I supposed to?" He said, "Okay, well, you know, all I'm just saying, you better keep it up, because, you know, you starting off like this, I'm expecting you to keep it up." And he's like, don't worry about it, I'll keep it up. And I said, uh-oh, here come the question. Be questioning now. And I could just hear in her mind, I don't know about, you know, this look like this too good to be true. I don't know about this, you're on this one. Now, like I told mine, now at the point, she go two ways. She needs to, number one, stop the dialogue within herself to say, okay, let me just let this brother show himself and where he's going to go with it, instead of me painting him with the same scope like, oh, he about to do like the rest of the others. That's thinking with the what? The mind again. Why I'm thinking that way? Because it's always happened. They always cheat. Why are you going to be different? That's the mind. The heart saying, well, I signed up for this show because I wanted to trust God or somebody else to pick the people instead of me, because I'm at the point I don't trust myself. So I figured that people on this show would do a better job. That's hard. So let me just go ahead and just trust the process. Like I told Mom, that fool, since we talk about tarot that's brought up by the young lady, the subscriber that had wrote me, that fool's journey card is representation of not only the fool and not knowing, it's the fool's journey that's always been associated with the heart. Because when you fall in love, you act like a fool. You have a tendency to do foolish things. That's why they came and said, everybody plays the fool sometimes. It's no exception to the rules. Listen, baby, maybe factual, maybe cruel, but everybody plays the fool. Ooh. Everybody plays the fool, especially when it comes to love, because you don't know where you're going. You do foolish things. You doing things, writing their name down, sending something about them in high school, sending 20 cards. It's just like, I'm just throwing caution to the wind because I know I just want this. Then life happens and experience it happens, and then we stop saying, I ain't playing the fool no more, baby, please. Baby, bye. You become jaded. I done been there, done that. I done had that marriage. I done did that. When I put my all in it. I done been there when they ain't doing nothing and they still cheat. I put my all in it and they still cheated on me. Still found somebody. Had nerve enough not to even tell me they was going to get married. They just went on ahead and did it. I ain't doing it no more. That stuff hurt like hell. Not knowing. Source is asking you again, and your heart is asking you again, especially on this twin flame adventure. It's asking you to take that fool's journey again. How you be able to enter in, and to be able to do that, you got to do it with the heart. And that's why they're saying that heart, so some of us have associated that it is foolish. The heart is foolish. It makes foolish decisions. It makes foolish choices. But the heart wants what the heart knows. His heart's desire. So when you're saying about that fool's journey there, we talk about that journey into the heart as well. I got an epiphany about that too after I read the young lady's thing. I said, okay, since we talk about tarot, let's talk about tarot. Let's get into it. So that's what that is. Because a lot of times we make that assumption. To be in the heart, to be in love, is to act like a fool. And that's what we ask for, that new beginning, not knowing, opening chapters, taking just bare necessities. And most time when you see the fool's card, they had nothing but the person with the sack and on their back, and they just walking. They don't know where the hell they going. They're oblivious to it. That means we're taking bare necessities, like they say bag ladies. We're letting them 16 bags of things out, and we just taking the necessities of what we need into where we're going. We got to travel light. I told you before when I did that about the heart. You've got to make your heart as light as a feather. Because just like the young lady says, when you deal with that mind, it causes a conflict, and it restricts and it restrains the actions of love. That's the only way we're going to be able to do it. We've got to look beyond. We got to look with the eyes of love. We got to practice unconditional love. This is what you actually want with this union. I'm seeing a lot of us thinking that we've got it, and we get caught up with that, and we kind of go back to that default setting. But he ain't doing, but y'all don't see him doing it. He ain't, and this is what I think, and I would have thought he would have did X, Y, Z by now, because that's what he should have did. Well, that's what you would have did, and that's what you thinking that should have happened. If you're really truly honest with yourself, it will really lead you the way. Okay, why he ain't showed up? Because there ain't really time. I want it to happen too bad. It's too really time ain't right. Because really, if I think about it, I ain't cleaned up my place. I ain't got this stuff together. I ain't got no room actually for that. But at the same time, you want to say, why he ain't showed up? He should be here by now. And if you check your heart, say, yeah, it is some more things I could really be working on with myself. That's why you have to check your heart, you know. I had also some things, since you want to use your brain so much, I'm going to give you an activity that you should do. Let your brain be your interviewer to your heart about some things, which is some things that you should be asking. And I got this from Dr. David. Well, that's interesting. Oh, that's my face? Interesting. I'm talking about the face of the DM is my face. That's interesting. Okay, anyway. And write these things down. You should be asking yourself when you saying the matters of the heart. Should be asking yourself about situations that you're questioning about. Like, what must I do? What do I feel right now that I must do in this situation? Okay. And whatever that it is when you're talking about in your heart. So let's say, an instance again, it's about the DM, and he's not doing what he's supposed to be doing at this time. What do you feel that you must do? What must I do? Well, actually, you know, I done been here before. So I know right now, if he ain't communicating what he doing right now, what I must be doing is I got to be patient. I know that. That's something. That's a must. I got to wait on for a spirit to direct me, or for me what I got to do next. So right now I need to just be still. Okay, well, I'm moving to the thing. What can I do at this moment? Well, I can be still right now, or I can start working on some other projects until I hear from the divine counterpart. Okay, what will I do? Okay, well, it has been a project that I could be doing, or I could say be still. He's not here. He hasn't showed up. Let's rewind and start over again. What must I do? Be patient. Got that. I know that's a must. Next thing he said, what can I do about that? Well, right now I can't do nothing about him not showing up in this situation where he's at. I can't do anything, but what I can do is do something in the meantime. Come up with a project, okay? What will I do? Okay, well, what will I do? Okay, well, I talked about I need the place to me. I got to create some space for him. That's something I can do. So what I can do is I can create some space for him. I can start cleaning up some stuff. Okay, when will I do it? Okay, well, it has been bothering me. Let me check my schedule. I think by Saturday I got a couple of readings. Maybe by Saturday. Saturday look like a free day. I don't think I got anything on the schedule. So either, let's say this weekend. I'm giving myself a timeline. Maybe by this weekend I'll start working on one room at a time. And maybe it look like the weekends are light. So each weekend I'll take an area at a time. Okay. So this helps me to move past this thing. But then also checking my heart, what am I actually doing? See, because I'm checking in my heart. I'm not checking in with my mind when I was doing it. I'm really seeing what in my heart is really I'm able to commit to in my heart to do. You can do that about anything, about your mission, getting on your purpose. Like my mind is actually interviewing my heart. What is it actually saying? Or it could have been, I could have asked myself, I don't feel like doing nothing. Because every time I look like I'm doing anything in my heart space, I feel better when I do things that's at peace. Really, right now, I don't want to concentrate on anything with the divine master. My heart could have answered back and said that. Because me cleaning up space makes me think about that. So I really want to do something for me. Oh, okay. All right, then. Okay, now we're getting down to the thing. So, okay, what do you want? And then you start going back over the questions again. So, questions again, because I was trying to answer at the same time with that, is that you will be asking, again, what must I do? What can I do? What will I do? And when will I do it? This is going to help you to move past your own limitations about how you're seeing things in your mind, but then check it in with your heart to do that as well. All right, so I'm going to stop right here because I gave you enough. But again, understanding that you got to get past the heart on this here and really truly understand about what is it. The mind ain't going to get you there. The mind is not going to get you into union. It's just not. It can help you to a certain point or something, but it's going to, matter of fact, it's always going to go back to that default thing about what it knows, the devil it knows, the things that it's familiarized with, that comfort zone that it is. Rarely with this here, this is a journey of something, and what they say, this is a journey into sound. What is that? I forgot what some kind of show that says that. And you got to get on and surpass that. Because it's beyond the sound. It's beyond what your thoughts and things come at. It's a feeling, it's a vibration, it's a frequency, it's that. It's a deeper knowing, it's a understanding, passing all understanding that your heart knows with your soul. Remember again, we are one soul. Therefore, if we're one soul in the heart, the soul resonates in the heart. That's where we make the connections. That's how we're able to do this telepathy and to be able to contact our other self, our divine counterpart. So check in with your heart space. Use a little less on the thinking. Use that thinking for you to be able to get into your mission. But when it comes to matters of the heart, leave the heart to make a decision about things. Okay? All right, then, as always, don't forget to get my Divine Love Letter too for $14. Remember, it's good until the end of this month. as well, so you can really truly understand what's happening in the heart space of your divine masculine. Please note and understand that, because I had somebody who did a reading, that this divine love letter is talking about the love that the divine masculine has for you. If they feel like it, they will reveal about what's going on in the 3D, but sometimes they don't. Again, because they want to focus in on the love and help you to understand about what's going on. And remember, if you do want more details about what's happening with the 3D, about the divine masculine, you are to also go schedule in a reading with me where I give you all detailed insight about the divine masculine there. The love letter, that's not a place for it. It's not really appropriate about what's actually going on with the 3D. But again, some of them they do. It depends on their connection with you and their comfortability that they want to tell you about so much. You remember that the divine masculine, sometimes they do feel like they want to protect you, and they let you know as far as what they want you to know as well. The purpose of the divine love letter is for you to fall more in love with them, not to be falling out either too. So you have to remember that too is their premise. So I'm just kind of responding back to somebody. They gave me feedback on that, and that ain't the time nor the place for that. You order a regular divine masculine reading with me, and then I can give you all the 411 and the juicy bits and the behind the scenes about what's going on with them in 3D. All right. As always, stay uplifted, stay motivated, stay ascending. Namaste. Namago. Love you.